What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today you're watching a magic review on Pure Psychometry by Dee Christopher. What is Pure Psychometry? Pure Psychometry is a set of psychometry bags that are extremely well made. Now, I guess I'll get into the quality here right away, but basically the way that I've performed this, and I did earlier tonight for the first time, was I had four people. Basically, I handed a bag to each person, and then I blindfolded myself. Had them take out an object personal to them, place them in the bag, to which all the bags went into a bowl. I had somebody bring me the bowl, and from there I started the routine. So what I really like about these bags is that they're completely ordinary looking bags. They do look professional, they look nice, right? So I think just if it suits your performing style and you kind of want to have that elegant look to what you're doing, then these are perfect. There was no heat on the bags or anything like that, because up until you were given the bags back, your participants are handling the bags, so that kind of takes the heat off of anything being gimmicked. So once I started my routine, I picked up a bag. Now, what I love about this is just in picking up the bag, you get a good idea of what's possibly in there. So without seeming like you're doing anything, just in the process of picking up the bag, I was able to tell that one had a watch in it, another was a set of keys. So right there, you can start reading without, having opened the bag or even really seem like you felt anything. So I really liked that about this, was I was able to tell what was in there before really doing anything. So I was able to start my reading by sensing what was in the bags. So I kind of gave a cold read at first based on what I felt was in the bags, and then from there, once you open the bag, you know exactly who the object belongs to. So from there, you have that much more information, because you know if the person is male or female, you know if the person is younger or older. You get a good idea if that's something that they purchased themselves or was handed down, if there's sentimental value. Basically, I was able to, from what they said after the routine was done and everybody had their items back and my blindfold was off, everybody said that each reading that I gave was extremely accurate, spot on. Now, I mean that this went over better than I could have imagined. The items that they placed inside were perfect to give precise readings that seem impossible. So, the idea is that you kind of can give a reading about what the item is and what it means to them, and then ultimately you can call out that name, say, I believe this is yours, come up and get it. And there's lots of different presentations, and that in the tutorial, Dee goes over different ideas and presentations very well. So anyway, that's kind of how I used this, and it went over great. Now let's just talk about the quality here quick, because the quality is next to none. So right from the blindfold, which is a velvet blindfold, it's double lined, so it's impossible to see through. And I had one of my participants hold it up to the light, hold it over their eyes, confirm that there's no way to see through that. And then the bags themselves. So the outside is the same velvet feel, but I think where Dee really went above and beyond is the inside of the bags. So you have this material here, and you can kind of hear it's a very durable material. So he did this because basically you don't know what's going to be put in here. Like keys can be sharp and pointy, so he wanted to give this a really durable material so that these are going to last. It's very, very unlikely that these will get punctured, wear and tear. Like I don't see these getting damaged. So the quality is absolutely amazing. Now, the marking system. I love the marking system. So there's kind of two different marking systems. I'm not going to say where they are. I'm not going to say what they are, but they're the first one anyway. The one that I use is extremely deceptive. And personally, I don't even know if the second marking system was necessary, but if you're somebody who maybe doesn't have the best eyesight, then it is a good option for you to maybe use the second marking system. For me, I won't use that because the first one is so deceptive, and people could examine these bags, they're not going to find anything. So with that, the quality, it couldn't be better, I don't think, right? These are not only are they extremely durable inside, they look professional, they look very, very nice on the outside, and then I don't know, just like they're not too thick. Like I mentioned, I was able to get a really good idea of what was in there before ever touching the object itself or opening the bag or anything like that. So the quality, perfect. And then the blindfold works exactly as it should, right? So those who have used blindfolds of any sort, it works great. The tutorial, like all of the 1914's tutorials, is packed full of great ideas and information. You're going to learn everything that you need to know about the props included. And then, Dee shares some of his experience. I purchased this on the Black Friday deal. So in the beginning, there's kind of an intro video on, you're getting this early type thing, which will be replaced with a live performance, which I think is great too, because you'll get to see Dee doing what he does. So the tutorial is really good. There's a number of videos above and beyond. Difficulty level. So really, if you can simply remember the order of who you gave the bags to, like you have to remember 4 people. And, anybody who does any kind of memory work, like for me, I was introduced first to memory work from one of Richard Osterland's DVDs, where he writes down numbers 1 through 20 and has different people shout out random objects, to which he writes down, quickly memorizes, and gives the board to somebody else. They can say out numbers at random and he can instantly recall what object that is using a very simple mnemonic system. So I just simply applied that to this, and all you had to do is remember 4 people. Now, it was easy tonight where I was because I knew the people, not personally, but where I work, I know who they are. So it's very easy for me to remember, 1 through 4. But in a live performance where I likely won't know the person at all, this is still going to be very easy because I would simply use those mnemonics to visualize the person associated to the number with the mnemonic, and it's very, very easy. So difficulty level, if you can remember 1 through 4, you're good. I think the difficulty lies in just getting comfortable giving readings. Now, you don't have to. You can simply have the objects placed in the bag, kind of you might be guessing what it is in there, right? And then ultimately you open that up, you see what it is, but you don't see what it is because you're blindfolded. But at that point, what the object is and who it belongs to. So it can simply just be a routine where you're giving back the objects to the people, and you really shouldn't be able to know what object belongs to which person. So that in itself is good. But if you can get comfortable and decent at readings, I think that's where the strength in psychometry really lies, because you're giving information that you shouldn't be able to. So, cold reading, but it's more like a warm read because you do have information just the way that this all works. So it's awesome. Angles, setup and reset, no angle restrictions. Setup and reset, there is no setup, instant reset, right? Not that I don't think that this is something that you need to worry about a reset, because you're likely going to be using this in a show or in a setting where it's only going to be performed once. But for whatever reason, there is no reset. This is all ready to go. It's ready to use out of the box. Can it be inspected? Can it be examined? I am going to say yes, because, it's basically being done as part of the process. So the only part that you're doing really is handing the bags out to the 4 participants. And from there, you are blindfolded. They're instructed to take a personal object, place it in the bag, close the bag, and then the bags come back to you. You're blindfolded the whole time. So as far as examination goes, they're handling the bags from the moment you give them the bags to the moment that the bags are then returned back to you. So I think that really takes the heat off of everything, because, if something was gimmicked or whatever, like, people don't think that you would give that to them openly. Like, I think even if they look at all these bags, they're not going to find the secret. Pocket space. I don't think this is something you would carry in your pocket, but these can be folded down to be quite small, pack flat, especially if you're doing like a small show and you're just carrying like a small bag. These pack really flat. They don't take up much space, and even if you're piling everything onto one thing, it still packs pretty flat. So pocket space, I would say no, but it doesn't take up much room at all. Is this a worker, and who would use this? So I think that this is a definite worker. I do like to try and take what I'm reviewing out into a real world setting or a working situation. This wasn't exactly a working situation. I wasn't paid to be there or hired to be there, right? Like, it's just where I work, but the setting's still the same. Like, I had a number of people there, and yeah, so I would consider this process that I did earlier the same as in a working environment. And I think for any type of mentalism show or performance, whether it be close-up, parlor, or even stage, I think that this is unreal. It's a perfect worker, in my opinion. This isn't something you're gonna walk around and do at tableside. Like, I think there's other ways of performing psychometry if you're going to be in that kind of setting, right? For example, like, I reviewed Ian Ragg's Psychometric a while back, and it's a different system, and it's very open, it's very clean, it can be done close up. And not that this can't, but I don't think you're going to go around carrying these props for table hopping and stuff. Whereas there are other options where I think that that's a better option for that setting. But with this, I do like that the objects are enclosed. So, when you're given the bags back, you're not feeling the object directly. So I think it adds a layer of deception and impossibility, that you're able to kind of pick up what's in the bag before you really do handle it. So who would use this? Obviously, mentalists and mystery performers, psychics. I personally don't ever claim to be psychic in any way. I don't know. That's just me. I think there's the argument of is that morally right or wrong, and really, like, I don't think I really have a distinct opinion on it. I've heard arguments on both sides that I can agree with. So, I think it's totally your call how you want to present this, or who this would apply to. But yeah, definitely mentalism, anything mentalism related. I think that this is great. So what's the price, and is it worth your money? Now, the price on this is actually, it's way too cheap. And I don't know if that was just kind of a Black Friday special or what. I don't know if the price is going to go up. It definitely could, and it would still be 100% worth it. And I'm being completely honest there. But, I picked this up during Black Friday. It was £30. See how I didn't say euros there? I'm getting better. It's £30, which I think converts to roughly 35 US dollars. So I think Canadian, I probably paid like $45 for this. And yeah, between the quality and the tutorial and everything you're getting, I think that that's a complete steal. I know that there's cheaper options out there. I know there's more expensive options out there, but I just mean in terms of quality of the props themselves, and then also the information that you're getting, I think that that's an amazing deal. And even if it does go up and, double in price, I think it's still a fair price. And I don't know if that's going to happen. It might launch and be sold for 35 US dollars. I don't know. But that's what I paid, and I couldn't be happier. Okay, I'm just adding in this update after going on to the 1914 site and seeing that pure psychometry is going to retail at $61. So is that worth it? I still think it's worth it 100%. So I can't really leave a link in the description on where you can pick this up. Like, it will be available through the 1914. You can still go check it out on their website. But originally, Dee wasn't going to launch this until I think it was Blackpool, but did a kind of a limited run on Black Friday. So anyway, this isn't available right now. The reason I'm reviewing it right now rather than when it's available to everybody, and I don't normally do this because I don't usually see a point in reviewing something that isn't available right now. But with that said, I think this is going to be one of those things that sell out right away and continue to sell out as they come back in stock. I think they'll continue to sell out. So that's why I felt it necessary to do this review right now, even with it being out of stock, because if this is something that you're interested in or something that fits your performing style, then I think you're going to want to grab this right away as soon as it's available so that you can have it. Otherwise, yeah, I think you could be waiting some time. Pros and cons, positives, negatives. There's not a single negative that I can think of. The marking system's great. The tutorial is great. The materials are great. The quality is great. The difficulty level, it's easy to do, right? You just want to practice getting good at presenting and, but that doesn't really have anything to do with this as a purchase. So, all pros, definitely. Not a single negative in my opinion. And the price, wow. Anyway, I guess I could still leave a link in the description just to take you to the 1914's page for this and keep your eye out for when it comes back in stock. Maybe sign up to the email list, and I'm sure that there'll be an email that goes out when it's available again. I should just mention dimensions. So the size of these bags are 6 inches wide by 8 inches long, or deep, I guess. But like I mentioned, I had watches in here, and they're a good size. I don't see many people having things on them that would be bigger than this. Even if somebody has a big bulky wallet, it's still gonna fit in this with room to spare. So I think they're a great size. With that, now I think I've said everything I can. Unless you want to know how long this is. It's probably a couple feet. No matter what size your head is, it will fit. All right, so with that, we'll see you at the next review.